Good morning, Big Brother Hometowns Viewing Lounge. It is day 17 in the Big Brother Hometowns 15 house, but we're here to discuss all the tea on Big Brother Hometowns 15 day 16. Whew, girl, I haven't come. Hello, Jabbar. Thank you for running. Hello, Christian. Love that. Hello, Alex. Yes, we love viewership here. I don't know. I haven't landed yet where if I'm happy that Thanksgiving break is coming after this round. Like, I don't know. Because, bitch, this is heating up. Hello, Crispy. Hello, Crystal. I don't know if I'm content with Thanksgiving break coming up because I don't know if it's going to intensify the drama or if it's going to dissipate. I don't know yet. But we'll see. But my God, bitch, shit's happening finally in this game. People's emotions are high, specifically Angelica's. And we're here to talk all about it. Hello, K-Pow. Hello, Hangons. Hello, Crystal. And I'm joined by BBH15 alumni, Phil.
What's up, Carl? How we doing?
So good. So good.
We're getting fed. It's not even Thanksgiving yet. And we're getting fed so
and we've been fed, bitch, 9-course meal. And this is what we've been waiting for. Because Anna won the first HOH of the season, the first real HOH of the season in Bunker 1. And it was a very boring round. No one's going to blame her. She did the right thing. Laid low. Great. This is the Anna HOH we've all been waiting for.
This is the true Anna HOH.
We have been saying it every fucking morning tea. We're like, we need someone to take a shot at the ants, either successful or not. We just want someone to just shake them up because there's so many fractures that just in a slight attempt at them is going to fracture them into just shrapnels everywhere. And Anna's doing it, and we've been saying Anna is an absolute person who can do it. Anna could have done it. Ian could have done it with the right resources. AJ might have done it. There were people who Tay would do it. And finally, we get an Anna victory after Amanda flubs the HOH. Just, girl, you've got a science degree and you threw away 50 tokens on a periodic table question.
She threw in every question. She knew every question and threw them all.
And I specifically asked her, I was like, "Are you throwing this?" She goes, "I'm really bad at throwing," and I'm like, "I'm just asking because you're throwing without throwing. You're only throwing away 20 tokens. But if you're trying to throw,
you know every answer, and yet you're splitting on 4 answers every single time."
Yeah, and she realizes 4 questions in, and then oh shit, not Siri. She realizes that 4 questions in, and then she stops doing it. And then she ends up losing by 3 tokens to Anna. Luckily for Amanda, she's in no danger here to my knowledge. But I say that now. But we've seen Anna in her HOH in 13 where it was very clear it was going to be Susie Carly on the block with a Jacob Sparks renom if necessary. And Sparks managed to talk him way off. And we saw Crystal out of fucking nowhere get put on the block. So honestly, I don't think anyone's safe in this goddamn house. No one should feel safe.
No, it's so interesting to me. It's so interesting to me that the parallels between both of these HOH reigns, where she wins HOH after a ton of people are so safe in their position that they go for an advantage in both of her HOHs.
For the people who have not looked at the update I sent at 2 a.m., I'm sorry. I finally got around to updating the $1 million spreadsheet, $1 million money drop spreadsheet. 11 out of the 15 people went for the advantage. Because these people, in the words of Anthony Io, if you've not watched his live, which you should, he literally was like, these people, he's like, this whole fucking cast feels really fucking safe.
Yeah.
And you're not wrong.
It's always so interesting to me because in this situation and in 13, both of these, both of her HOHs, it's a thing where I think people overvalue a secret advantage too much when they're safe. And by doing so, they almost allow all the people who are not safe to take control. And they do it, subconsciously even, but it's that is the perfect opportunity for an underdog group to take over because everybody in the game feels so safe. And for what? I mean, in our season, it was 1 free round of safety that Christian won. This time it's a free veto. If you're in a safe position, you don't need that.
No. Yeah. And Yeah, I mean, obviously, I'm not shading Carly here because Carly
No.
only had her only
Right.
option was to play for the advantage.
Right.
But the fact is that the aunts all talked about, hey, we need to win this HOH because Carly. They're obviously lying because none of them really actually have the aunts in their best intention. But they're like, we need to retain power. Carly just pissed off half the house with how she, handled the live night. Like, we need to continue to keep power. We have the safety chain. Let's continue keeping power in the HOH because, as Carly was saying yesterday, the easy noms, I don't love that term, but in terms of like the house target nominations, they're basically gone. Yeah. We're now at the point now where nominating someone is going to piss off not only the nominee, but other people because that's their ally. Mm-hmm. Like, we've reached that point now. Ian was the last boot where realistically he really didn't have many people in the house. So we're done with that.
Yeah.
Everyone in this house, including Jess, I know I said it, has allies, and putting her up is not going to be lovely for everyone in the house. You can't just expect everyone to rally behind nominations like they did with the Davey nom.
Yeah.
So we've left that point, and the fact that all of the aunts went for the advantage, except for Amanda, who's actually playing for the aunts, despite being at the bottom of the aunts, and then the other three people that play for the HOH are on the bottom: Tommy, Ashton, and Anna. And this is why we love doing this because all these people who feel so comfortable go for the advantage, and it allows an underdog to rise to power. It happens every time.
It does.
It happens every season.
And I remember in 13 when we did the advantage comp, talking specifically to Susie, Sparks, and Carly, and saying we need to go for HOH. Like, we need to keep ourselves up. All three of them went for the advantage, and they became. they were the targets at that point.
Exactly.
I went for HOH that round, and it. I did terrible with Deal or No Deal.
It's Deal or No Deal. Who cares?
But I think in our season only 4 people went for HOH.
That sounds about right. That's the thing, is these people. And I get it. If you're doing game theory or whatnot, if you feel safe and you feel like no one's going to nominate you, makes no sense to go for HOH. But the fact of the matter is, when all of your allies, all the people who you're relying on to win it to keep you safe, are also using that same logic, you have someone like Anna rise to power, and it could Tommy could have won this. He was in contention, and the Starbucks question takes him out. Ashton for a brief moment. All 4 of the people who competed for HOH all finished the competition. Yeah, they all did. So all 4 of those people, any of them had one question gone differently for them, could have walked away here with the HOH. Had Ashton won this at a household, who knows what we'd be dealing with. And it's so funny to me that these people were just so willing to just throw away their game for an advantage they don't even know what it is. Yeah. It's just crazy to me. And this is what we get.
You hear advantage and it might sound great, but really the advantages on BBH haven't been overpowered in the ever. So
we don't do that.
Yeah. So it's the extra veto last season got used the first round it was available.
Oh, it did.
And Christian held on to his safety until the last round that he had it available. But that was, you guys gave him 3 rounds. This time it's only 2.
It's only 2. We're allowing them to use it, try to get them to the jury, because it's this round and the next round, and then we're at jury. So we're like, we don't do over. If you want a Big Brother game with a lot of powers, go play Instinct.
Right.
Come join me in the winner's circle.
Exactly.
That's just not our gimmick. And the fact that 11 out of 15 people were like, I'll go for the secret advantage. All right. Yeah. And the thing is how many of those advantage people would have won the HOH? 3 of them. The top 3 scores are all from the advantage. Carly's in 3rd overall. Right. Obviously, she had to compete for the advantage. But Lee and Anthony, had they just gone to the other side, would be in power here. And, chose not to. So
Anthony won, and there was a brief moment last night where we thought he was going to be on the block immediately.
Absolutely, it's crazy. Jess fucking went for the advantage. She's like, I feel really safe. Literally, us in the prod chat were like, when she was like, I feel safe, I'm gonna go for the advantage. All of us in the prod chat were like, is she okay? Is she good? Is she good? Yeah. And Javar saying, and that's the thing. People who do their homework on BBH, we don't like advantages that overpower the game. That's just not our thing. Like, we want it to be able to help you for the next like round or two. Like, that's our thing. Because we're not like, we don't give out fucking idols like for 10 rounds and shit. So,
Right.
and these people know this. The only
Yeah.
person who is exempt from knowing this is Ashton.
Yeah.
The other 14 people here know this to be a fact. And it was just crazy to me to like, when I was finishing up the spreadsheet, I'm like, damn, only 4 people competed for head of household. And guess what? This is what they get. This is what they get.
Yeah.
A fucking messy, chaotic ass round. This is what you get.
Absolutely.
Don't
and
play with
know, like, anybody who's watching this and is going to like play in the future, like, they put this up. You guys need to go for HOH, because even if you're in a good spot, nobody's in a good spot right now. And Ana HOH means there's no one in this game who is in a good spot.
Exactly. And when 11 people are feeling like they're in a good spot, like, it's when 11 out of 15 people, obviously, take Carly out of the equation. When 10 out of 14 people feel like they're so safe that they can go compete for the advantage, you're not as safe as you think you are.
No.
When only 4 people are competing at, like, I mean, hell, if I had told the house that only 4 of them competed for HOH, I think that would send a massive shockwave through the house, and people be like, "Oh shit, I'm not as safe as I think I am," because everyone thinks they're safe. So someone's wrong. Mirror, mirror on the wall. Someone's wrong here. Like, like,
also,
what?
Anthony talked about it last night. How it requires a little bit of deception when you win a advantage like this. So when you have to use it, hey Mitchell, when you have to use it, maybe that turns people against you just as much as an HOH would have. I mean, the whole double veto play with Jabbar and RT last season, like, that didn't make people happy.
Yeah. Very, very fair. And, I thought for a minute we were about to have a messy round if Anthony was on the block here, because I was like, oh, not the secret veto coming out again. But it looks like Anthony possibly might be in the clear here. We'll have to see. We'll get into it, because there's a lot of different ways tonight can go. But we're going to start off with, the other like B-line story crap. Name a better duo than Angelica and either leaking her own alliances or people leaking their alliances to her. Because I can't think of one until we get to Angelica and being on the bottom. Angelica leaks the LGFUAD alliance, which I've been told is I think it stands for Let's Get Fucked Up and Die. I think Murphy's told me that yesterday. Yeah. Well, that shit was in existence for 12 hours before Angelica leaked that shit to Dan. So
that's better than a lot of the alliances in 14. They got, 12 hours. That's better than a lot of those.
So I mean, hey, I need to disable my Siri because it keeps coming up out of nowhere. I don't even call her. Anyway, so that's been leaked, which is shitty. But guess what? Ana takes one back. Ana gets one back on Angelica, being like, "Oh, you like obviously she didn't know this, but it's just funny to me that she's like, "Oh, you leaked my alliance, so I'm gonna put up your top ally, haha." Or try to backdoor your top ally. So, and Ana just does these things that like just so happen to work in the context of the entire game.
Yes, that's the thing with her. You talked about at the beginning of the show. You talked about how, given the right resources, Ian could have made a big move here. Ana's the type of player who does not need the resource; she just makes the move.
She just does it. Like, you don't need to. And she, like, in 13, we all were like, why the fuck is she putting up Crystal? And in hindsight, it worked out because honestly, Crystal might have been the only person to send Carly home on the block next to her. So at the time, we were like, oh, this is stupid. And it ends up, probably being the only nomination she could have made to keep Carly out of the house in the last pre-juror. And here again, she's making a move against Angelica, and like on face value, you'd be like, why is she doing this? But honestly, in the context of what Angelica has left Ana out of, it's like, well, actually, it's kind of poetic. Like, she just has this way of doing things that she obviously doesn't know all the information, but manages to do something that just works. It's that last piece of the puzzle that just magically fits, and you're like, I don't know how you did that, but go off.
Yeah, it's like you guys talked a lot in 13 about how a lot of us use the very wrong logic to get to the right answer a lot of times in terms of what we should do, and that's what Ana does. She she knows in basic detail what needs to happen, and then just does something, and it just magically works out for her every time.
Exactly. Well, the last two things that go around the house before we crown our HOH and our secret advantage holder revolve around Dan. when right before live night on day 15, Anna called Bunker 1 and told everyone that Dan wanted Davey to stay over Tommy and that she was kind of weary of it. Angelica, of course, tells Dan on day 16, hey, by the way, Anna told everyone in Bunker 1 that you wanted Davey to stay, which absolutely was true. And Dan is, for some reason, doubling down on this lie that he voted to keep Tommy, which I get why he's lying about it because Tommy is still here.
Yeah.
But why he's lying to Angelica, I don't know why he's lying to Angelica about this. Like his number one ally. I don't know. It's like not that serious, but whatever. And the other thing that happens with Dan, and we see this later down the line with Lee and Carly, is there become a lot of talks about are we all playing Dan Alt's game? And that's really kind of an initiative that Lee is starting. Lee's going around kind of like after live night, because there's a lot of questions people have after live night. Jess and Tommy are fine. Jess and Tommy are like, there's something going on without us. Like, we were left out of everything. Like, no one was talking to us. And Lee is picking up on that, and he's kind of going around being like, do you think we're just all playing Dan Alt's game here? Which one is amazing for Angelica, because Angelica's being completely left out of being involved in this, when she is just as involved as Dan Alt is. And I wouldn't even say this is Dan and Angelica's game. Yeah, like I wouldn't say this is Dan and Angelica's game by any means, but they're definitely they're two of the biggest power players in the game. But the fact that she's being left out of the narrative is, I mean, one, maybe it's misogynistic, but two, hey, it's working for her. So like she's being left out, and all everyone's eyes are looking at Dan for wanting to maybe keep Davey. Everyone thinks that the narrative going around is that he controlled live night, which is why it was so quiet. It's going around, and the Dan Alt ship is starting to have a little bit of little holes in it, even if it's true or not true. But perception is reality in the Big Brother Hometowns 15 house.
I mean, he's one of the easier people to be able to frame that narrative on after the way he played his season, right? Like he controlled most of the season from the background. Like nobody saw him as the leading player throughout that season, and then at the end, it's revealed that he was really in control of everything that happened almost the entire season. So it's an easy narrative to put on people, especially when four of the 15 people left were there. I mean, they were on that season.
Very, very fair. It is. It's hard. I mean, perception has been a big storyline of the season because sure as hell the gameplay hasn't been. That's just the tea. It's just everyone. It's the most damning things to people's game right now have been what other people perceive about other players, regardless if they're true or not. And here we go again. Like Carly's been a victim of it. Dan's becoming a victim of it. Just people perceiving something that just is not there. And again, and I think it has something to do with the fact that the game has been a little meh. And some of these people are getting a little bored because, the house targets are going away left and right. And really, there's been no big shots, really. And I think people are kind of, getting a little paranoid in their head and overthinking the simple part of the game. Like, no, it really isn't that. Like, sure, the ants are around, but no one's really controlling I wouldn't say one person is controlling the game here.
No, I mean, that's what happens. That's what happens during a slow start. Like, it wasn't until Anna's HOH that 13 actually became a game. Like, it was very, very cut and dry for the first 2 weeks of that season. And it was boring, honestly. And then Anna takes HOH, blows up the entire game, and it's a nonstop crazy house until the end of the season. I mean, and I think somebody said it in the Discord, like, it is the whole 21 person cast thing is a factor. Like, you don't want to make a move too early in a season with that many players because there's so many rounds that could blow up on you after you make a big move like that. So, I mean, it makes sense that you're going to have several rounds that are kind of boring, but I think that it's going to have to blow up at some point, and I think Anna's HOH is going to be a good launching point for that.
Absolutely. Like, I mean, we haven't had a cast this big since BBH10, and I mean, Daniel Kennedy puts up Quinn Teddy and Mitchell Stokes in round 3 or round 2 when they merge, and Daniel Kennedy is the boot the next round.
Yeah,
he gets yeeted the fuck out of there. It's like when you make a big move with this many people, they're gonna yeet you out because once you cast the first brick, it's done. Like especially with that many people, you eliminate the possibility of you playing for a veto here. And I think everyone's been kind of playing a little scared, which is not bad gameplay. I'm not shaming them for that. But Anna does not care about safe gameplay. If she goes out pre-jury, she's fine with it. She's here to have fun, and she's here to win. And she knows that some of these people can't be around if she wants to win. So she's like, let's get rid of them. Bye. Go home. So, and let's get into it. Anna wins the $1 million money drop HOH. Anthony wins the secret advantage to Lee's just absolute perplexion here. This man is perplexed how he lost. And honestly, I don't blame him. I thought us in the project were like, Lee's locked. Yeah.
That man was already planning his use of an advantage he did not have yet.
Absolutely. And rightfully fucking so. With a score of 790, I'd feel confident too.
Yeah.
And then Anthony I don't know where the hell Anthony's knowledge came from. And he was just like, and that's how you play. Anyone who plays $1 million money drop in the future, you have to be gutsy. You can't sit here and be like, wishy-washy, let me split. You got to be gutsy. If you think you know the answer, go for it. Because ultimately, like, that's how you're going to win this. Like, yeah, you get Anna who wins, with a score of 33, but only 4 people were in her heat. Yeah. when you're in a bigger cat, like, you got to go balls to the wall. Like, you're here to play. Yeah. And it's a betting game. That's how you have to do it, because you're going to find questions you don't know.
Especially the way you guys changed it this season to go from 10 questions to 7. Like, the splitting strategy does not work in that situation because there's a much higher probability of getting through the game. I mean, exactly. In 13, Christian won $1 million money drop without making it through every question. Exactly. So, splitting is a good strategy if you have a ton of questions. But in a 7 question thing, you're going to have people get through it. So you need to be at the top, with as many of those tokens as possible.
Exactly. Well, Anthony goes on to have the highest score, and he wins himself a secret POV that's good for this round, and then the round that we get back from Thanksgiving break. After that round, we head into the jury phase, so I'll have either this round or next round to use it, and it might come in handy this round.
Yeah.
TBD, because there's a mounting force to try and get him on the block, so we'll see if it works. As soon as we announce that Anna is the head of household, 3 people immediately panic because they feel like they don't talk to Anna a lot. And that is Jess, who Anna did confirm on the stream. She's like, yeah, I'm kind of looking at Jess as a nomination. The other one, I don't know yet. Yeah. Amanda and Danny are the 3 people kind of immediately being like, oh, shit, I should probably have talked to Anna more. Which, again, we talk about this every fucking day. How are we still in a spot where people are ignoring other people? Why are you doing this? Anybody can win head of household at any time. And honestly, if Jess is to stay this round, I want a Jess HOH because no one fucking talks to her.
Yeah.
Like, I just want these comeuppance for these people who just ignore certain players and have to reap the benefits of it or reap the consequences of it. That's what I want so badly for these people, because it's like, y'all are all-stars. Come on. I mean, in the words of AJ, I see why y'all lost the first time.
Yeah. I mean, it's frustrating because, like, everybody knows Anna is capable of winning competitions. Like, she's done it every season, both seasons. She's won different competitions. Like, she is a factor that you have to account for to win power. And really, all these people are. Like, everybody in this game is capable, given the right competition, of getting into power. But it's like you said, like, everybody feels so safe and everything's gone their way so far that they're like, well, nothing could possibly get in our way of continuing the steamroll. It's impossible. And then it's not. And then they're like, oh shit, we didn't do what we were supposed to. And
no, we say to anyone who plays a future season, don't do this.
Just talk to people. Just literally just have conversations with them. Like it's not hard.
Follow these tips and tricks and you'll make it almost to the jury, guaranteed, every fucking time. Follow these tips and tricks, because there will always be at least 3 or 4 people who make the same mistake every goddamn season, and they're the first 3 or 4 boots. Don't do this.
Like, literally every day, just go, like, wake up and go through your Skype chats and say, who have I not talked to? Who did I not talk to yesterday? That's my first priority, to who to talk to today. Just
exactly.
Like, it just takes a little bit of back checking. You can't just be with your friends all the time. There's 15 people in the game still. Like,
gotta exactly, like the fact that Like, these people are talking to their friends, and I'm like, y'all are already friends. Like, you're gonna talk tonight anyway. Might as well focus the day on talking to other people.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like they talk to, like, Angelica talks to Dan all throughout the day, and then at night calls him immediately. I'm like, maybe you should focus your texting time on anywhere, because Dan's not gonna leave you because you don't text him during the day.
Yeah.
Like, it's all gonna be good. It's all gonna be good.
No, I mean, all through pre-jury, it's so easy. The easiest way to get nominated is just, I don't talk to that person. Don't let that be the reason you get nominated. Like, just don't let that be the reason. Talk to people. Make them find a different reason to nominate you, because most of the time they won't try to find it early in the game.
Alrighty, the last two things. When Anna gets crowned, we got two kind of things that kind of start to shape up to be important storylines. One, not so important right now. It is Tommy is very high on Mitchell Hammond. Sorry,
he's probably high on Mitchell Stokes too.
I just saw Mitchell Stokes' comment, which is why the name came in my mind. Tommy very high on Mitchell Hammond, because Mitchell Hammond is doing exactly what he should be doing. During live night, Mitchell Hammond was the only person reaching out to Tommy with any kind of information. And Tommy values that a lot when, he's being left out of everything. Mitchell Hammond having even an ounce of anything for him. Hey, so Tommy is throwing around the idea of a final two with Mitchell Hammond. Again, solidifying Mitchell Hammond as one of the best players, if not the best player in this house right now. Where he's sitting pretty, didn't need the safety this round, but he has it. Tommy wants a final two with him. Everyone loves Mitchell Hammond, so killer on that. You always do. You always do. And the other one that's happening, which does become a main storyline today, is Carly and Lee want to start a 4-person anti-Dan chat with Danny DeAngelis and Tommy DiCarlo. Danny has not been called to be talked about it with her yet, but Tommy has been. Tommy is super down to work with Lee and Carly and get Dan out of here. And they are the three of the biggest people pushing for Dan to touch the block underneath Anna. So let's get into the stream of calls from Anna. Because let me tell you, this was hard to get through, not because of any other reason other than she called almost everyone in the cast, and everyone's pitching a different thing.
Yeah.
And literally 30 minutes before she had to send in her nominations, we had no clue what she was doing. We had no clue. So bear with us as we do a Spark Notes version, a Cliff Notes version of what the hell happened over the course of these calls. Anna calls Lee. Anna's giving no info, but Anna's the queen of, and we talked about this in the Discord, Anna's the queen of, hey, you're good, we're good, don't worry, but what would you do in my position? I need help with these nominations because I would hate to nominate one of your allies underneath my age, because we're working together. Yeah. She does this on every call, and everyone eats it up. All of them go, oh my god.
As soon as everyone hears you're good, they're okay to tell her whatever the hell she wants to hear.
It was Clef Notes. My god, I called it.
It's like K-Logs, Carl.
K-Logs. Kellogg's. Who fucking cares? Who's Cleft? No, that's a reference for RuPaul's Drag Race All-Stars 2. Alyssa Edwards. Because she thinks it's called Clef Notes, and Alaska's like, who's Cleft? It's Cliff's Notes. Anyway. Calls Lee, and Lee gets the same, run around of what would you do in my position? And he goes, great question, Anna. And throws Dan out right under that bus. Because he, I think, is the first call. I could be wrong on that. I think he is the first call Anna has. And after he gets off the phone with Anna, he runs to Tommy and Carly and is like, hey, I just threw Dan under to Anna, and Anna seems receptive. Throw Dan out so far under the bus. Let's get him on the block here. She calls Danny, and Danny's a bit, concerned it's going to be her. And to Danny's surprise, Anna's not even thinking about Danielle, which Danielle is having a cackle fest because, again, Danielle gets away with fucking murder in this house. She gets away with fucking murder. She was contemplating putting Anna up after Ashton won the veto during Danny's HOH, and she goes, well, shit, I got to renominate somebody. Anna was one of those people that she was considering. Ultimately lands on Erica. But again, Anna's like, no, we're good. You kept me safe during your HOH reign. I'll keep you safe during mine. So Danielle gets to slander another round where she is just sitting pretty. She's about to get included in some more alliances. Like, come on.
I don't know how she does it.
I don't know either.
Everyone
I
knows
don't
how
get
good she
it.
is. Everyone knows how good she, and honestly, the same with Mitchell Hammond, right? Like everyone knows how good they are at these things, and yet like everybody loves them every time they play.
And they let it happen. Like I was sitting here being like, oh shit, like I'm concerned here for when Anna won. I'm concerned for Danielle. I was like, this might not go well for her. And of course, it's perfectly freaking fine for her. I just shouldn't be shocked anymore at this point. So Danielle's call goes great. Then we get to Amanda. Annika's gonna call with Amanda, and Amanda's like, hey gal, I'm not sure if you realized we came into this game down in numbers. I think it was 10 to 11 to 10, 11 men, 10 women. We have no they thems in this cast, so no one come for me in the comments. I'm not insensitive. We have 11 he hims and 10 she hers. And for the first time in this game, there are more women than men. There are 8 women and 7 men. Erica and Monica being the only 2 women who have left in this game so far. And Amanda's like, hey Anna, the women have the numbers. You went to the final 4 with all women in 13. She went to the final 4 with all women in 12. She's like, maybe you don't put up 2 women or even 1 woman, just put up 2 men maybe. So that's Amanda's pitch. And this pitch for her is, obviously like, Amanda's no secret. If you're playing a game with Amanda Lindgren and you're not a woman, yeet that woman out of this game ASAP because she's not working with you. She's not working with you. Like, you gotta get the hell out of there. You gotta yeet her out of there before she eats you.
No, you don't get her out of there. You're gonna get Boys Room 2.0, 3.0, whatever it is.
Oh, absolutely. Hannah, if I had known Hannah, damn instinct 3. Not more women than men cancel the season. But Amanda, like, not only is she team women, but also she's pretty pissed at Lee.
Yeah.
In this moment, and she thinks if she can kind of get Anna on, anti-men with only 7 men left in the game, and Hammond being safe, there's only 6 men she can choose from. And Amanda's not trying to get rid of Lee by any means, but I think she's trying to get Lee in a vulnerable position where he kind of has to come back to reality and come back to her, because Amanda thinks that when the ants fracture that Lee will choose her, which is not true. But hey, it's not a bad idea in her mind. It's obviously we know that Lee has wanting to do nothing with Amanda, but she's pissed because before the HOH competition, Amanda was like, hey, as all of our ants, we need to play for HOH. We need to retain power. And they're like, yeah, absolutely. And Lee encouraged it. And then what did Lee do? He went for the advantage, and he came clean. As they all did, but fucking Amanda.
Yes.
And Anthony tells her that Lee told him that he scored 790 on the advantage and did not get it. And Amanda's livid. She goes, 1, this man's lying about scoring 790 and not getting it. She's like, either he got it or he didn't score 790. Like, she's pissed. But the thing she's more pissed about is, like, why did this man encourage me to go for HOH when he went for the fucking advantage? And now it's very clear that had he gone for the advantage and he's saying he got 790, he would have won it. He would have won the HOH. And Amanda's already nervous about Anna being HOH. So she's just mad. She's just pissed. And rightfully fucking so. Rightfully fucking so. So she's like, maybe I can get it.
She had the right read to go for HOH, and it's understandable that she's pissed that nobody else followed her lead on that. So
exactly. Then we get to the Dan call. Dan throws Jess under the bus. You think that's a pretty easy name because Jess is just not as around. And quite literally on this call, which is at 8 p.m. Eastern, Jess announces that she's going to bed. Tells the house chat, hey, y'all, I'm going to bed. Bye. Which, I get it. She works a very demanding job. I think her day starts at like 5 a.m. So I get it. But gal, girl, you gotta put in the work at some time during the day. Like, she works like 5 to 2, 6 to 3 most days, but like, she's not active like in that like 4 to like 7 p.m. range. Like, sure, if you're gonna go to bed at 7, 8, 9 p.m., you got to put in that work when you get off of work until you go to bed, because everyone is going to work when you're going to bed. So
yeah, and like,
gal,
you know, she found herself in a very advantageous position in 12 with the boys room group. And maybe that didn't require the amount of effort that maybe she should have, would have had to give had she not been in that group. But this season, she's not in that powerful position. And like, she needs to be putting in more effort than she is currently if she wants to be here very much longer. And I don't think she quite realizes that.
yeah, no, I don't. And that's things like I thought she'd have the wake up call from Live Night. Because it's looking dead at her in the face. Like, something's going on without you. Get with it. And she's just not putting in the work to try and divert what's happening in the game. So it's unfortunate. Oh, we're not done with calls yet.
Oh, no.
She gets in a call with Tommy. Tommy throws Jess under, but also for Dan. Like Lee had asked, throws Tommy under here. Then Lee, per usual, causing chaos, then asks Blake to throw Amanda under, because while Lee would like to see, like, he wants someone to take a shot at the ants regardless of if it's effective or not. He wants the ants to shatter. He ideally would want Amanda to be backdoored, maybe an Anthony.
Yeah.
He doesn't really actually want Dan to be backdoored, because he'd rather, have Dan as the dynamic in here and he's a bigger shield for Lee. So Lee goes to Blake and is like, hey, maybe you should push Amanda, because one, he knows that Blake does not want Amanda here. So he's like, push Amanda, and makes up a lie about Amanda wanting to nominate Anna during their co-HOH reign, which, if anyone knows Amanda, would never have happened. She doesn't nominate women. So that lie is just not fucking believable, but like, hey, whatever. So then Blake and Anna get on a call. And this is a big storyline here is Blake suggests a lot of names. He very much suggests Amanda, and really suggests taking a shot at Amanda as well as a Bunker 2 member, because the Bunker 2 just really seems like the stronger bunker here. And really says it should be Anthony. He's really suggesting an Amanda and Anthony nom set, but also says, hey, Dan, AJ, and Carly aren't bad nominations either. So those are the 5 nominations that he really pushes: Anthony, Amanda, Dan, AJ, and Carly. And for anyone who's keeping track of notes here, none of those 5 people touch the block at the end of the night, which Blake is livid about, but we'll get to that later.
Yeah, and, honestly, like, that is the downside of the way Anna handles her HOH reigns, is like, she asks for help from people, and when you don't take any of that help and don't put any of those people up, you feel used, and like you gave away a whole lot and you got nothing in
return. Exactly. And that's where Blake is at right now. He's like, why the fuck did you ask me for fucking help to then just completely disregard anything that I told you? Like, are you my ally or are you not my ally? But that's not how Anna plays.
Yeah.
Anna's like, I want all the information, then I'm going to make my decision what's best for me. Fuck y'all. I wouldn't care. So, and I don't think Blake followed on a season. Had he done that, I think he would have not had exposed as much as he did on said call.
Yeah.
Because that's not how Anna plays. Though half the house told her to put up a man, and she put up Crystal as the Reno. Like, this woman does not care what y'all think. She's going to do what she thinks is best. So that's what we love about Anna. Anna then gets on a call with Carly. And Carly suggests Dan and Amanda. But also she understands that Jess hasn't been around. So she's like, if you want to put up Jess, go for it. And because Anna's like, hey, I know you're close with Jess. And Carly's like, girl, put her up. Like, I'm not going to sit here and die on this Jess hill. Like, if you want to put her up, put her up.
Yeah.
So at this point, I'm like, I don't know who's going up, because she's been throwing out so many names. And she's keeping us completely out of the loop here. And then she calls Ashton. And I'm shooketh. She gets on this call and she goes, Ashton, do you want to make a big move? And Ashton's like, sure. And Anna's like, hey, I'm going to put you up. Which I'm like, what a weird way to open up this conversation. Ashton, you want to make a big move? But heads up, you're going to be on the block. Okay. She's like, I'm going to put you up against Jess, which, fine, whatever. It's a nom set that most people are not going to be genuinely that upset about. Yes, Ashton supporters are going to be upset. Ashton was very livid. If you've not seen her confessional, she was pissed.
She's also been on the block half this game so far.
Yeah,
so.
literally, we're at round 7 here. She's now been nominated in 4 of those 7 rounds. And Ashton's fucking tired.
She's never been there on final nomination night, but
no, she's vetoed
every time. Yeah,
she's been vetoed every time she's been nominated, either by herself or by Blake. So and honestly, I think she's getting vetoed again. We'll get to that. And Anna's like, hey, I want to put up Jess and Ash. I'm going to put up you and Ashton, or you and Jess, and I'm going to backdoor Dan. And we're like, where the fuck did this come from? We're sitting here like, what the fuck? Like, I'm fine with an Ashton and Jess nom set because Jess is going to go home in this nom set easily.
Yeah.
Period. Keep Ashton around. But she wants to put up Ashton because here, this is being, how the fuck did Ashton get put on despite literally her name never coming up? She wants someone on the block who's going to win the veto, or someone like put up a nomination who is really good at the veto so she can win it herself, so a backdoor can happen, or somebody like an Ashton who people are dying to use the veto on her because she's the only person who's had the veto played on her this entire season. So I think it's a great read from Anna if she's wanting the veto to be used. Put someone up who's going to gun for it, or someone that people would be willing to use the veto on, which in this case, Ashton. So she's like, hey, trust me, Ashton, like, if the veto isn't used, you're staying over Jess anyway. And she's like, no one's using the veto on Jess besides Jess, and we've seen how Jess competes. Like, and she's like, this backdoor plan's going to happen. Like, don't worry. I think it's a great idea from Anna in terms of the logistics of trying to get a backdoor happening.
Sure, it's great. It's just the circumstances of it.
Yes, the circumstances of it I don't love. But someone else wants to comment on this game move coming in from the satellite from his car from 4 hours ago. It's Mitchell Stokes.
Good morning, best friends. I hope you are ready for me to be back to spill the motherfucking tea. Buckle the fuck up, y'all. Buckle up. This game, name a more iconic duo than Anna and a chaotic ass HOH. We cannot name a more iconic duo. This game has blown wide open because people are actually, Anna is here to take the shot. She's ready. I love this move from her. Like, she's going to blow this game wide open by making this nomination when she backdoors Dan. I'm absolutely here for it. I'm so excited. And if it doesn't work, at least Dan had to get the fuck up and he had to do something, and he could stop being bored and stop being silly and making bad game moves because he's bored. And 2, if anything, it gets the game started. And that, I can't be mad at the move no matter what happens here. I just hope that she doesn't get cold feet and that she actually goes through with it, because it's a ballsy ass move and Anna is a ballsy ass player, and let's fucking go.
She's a fucking queen. She's a fucking queen. Oh my god. Fucking Angelica's on her tear this morning, calling people left and right. Love you, Angelica, if you're watching this. I know you're not going to watch this because you don't watch any postseason content because the game is stressful enough. Loving this move.
Woman after my heart, girl. Woman after my heart.
But what I love even more about this move from Anna is she gets on a call with Ashton and tells her the plan. And Anna's like, Ashton, like, if you don't want to be a pawn, like, I'll reconsider. And Ashton's like, I don't want to be on the block as a pawn. Anna gets off the call and she doesn't care.
No.
She literally asked Ashton, if you're not okay with being a pawn, I'll rethink it. Ashton's like, I don't want to be a pawn. And Anna goes,
yeah, you're going to be
clear. You're going to be a pawn.
I tried to think of any other way to do it. I just can't. You're on the block. Sorry.
Fucking killed
but
me.
I'll put you back. Don't worry.
Fucking took me out. Because at the moment I'm like, oh shit. I'm like, she's still going to go with this plan, but who's she going to put up next to Jess? Literally, she gets on a call. She gets on a call with AJ afterward, and AJ throws Jess under. and then gets on a call with Tay, like basically almost, shortly after Ashton, and basically is like, yeah, Tay, I'm gonna put up Ashton and Jess. Like, she didn't even reconsider for a fucking second. It was so good. So good. And Tay accurately clocking what has to happen here. I mean, Tay is like, do you think Dan's gonna go home over Jess? Like, realistically here, do you think that can happen? And they're like, maybe not, but they're like, if we can put in the work, it's a possibility. And I think that's a great read from Tay. They're realizing if they're going to do this, this is going to be a shit ton of work on their half. Mm-hmm. And we'll get into how hard it's going to be. Because at the time, I was like, this is possible. Because there's only 12 voters. All she needs is 6 to tie it, and Anna can break the tie.
Yeah.
At the time when she's telling Tay this, I'm like, there is a shot here. Because Lee pushed it, Carly pushed it, Tommy pushed it, Tay's down for it. That's 4. You just need 2 more people, and it's done. Obviously, Jess has an alliance with Blake. That could be a 5th. There's a shot here.
Yeah, there was a shot, but I think that where Anna overplayed it is she should have just told Tay. Like,
and that's and that's the next topic. We're sitting here, and literally at this point, she hops off with Tay, and there's like 8 minutes left, but like until the end of the window, like not the beginning of the window. There's 8 minutes left in the window. So I'm like messaging. I'm like, Anna, you got 8 minutes. Like we need your video, love. Like it's 10 p.m. Eastern. People want to go to bed. We need your video. And she calls Angelica right before she wants to send her video. And she tells Angelica, hey, I'm putting up Ashton. Don't be mad. Don't be mad. Angelica's like, sure. And Anna's like, I want the video to be used. And Angelica's like, oh, so it's a backdoor play. And I'm like, Anna, just leave it at that. Leave it at that. Leave it at that. And Anna goes, yeah, I want Dan out. The worst person. The absolute
don't
worst person she could have told.
Don't expose your backdoor plan. Like, before you're able to do anything with a backdoor plan. It doesn't work. Like, it just doesn't work. And to Angelica, oh my God, it's so bad.
And it's not Anna's fault. Anna couldn't have known how close they are.
It's not, but it's Anna's fault of not keeping her cards closer to her.
Exactly.
Because she spends the entire nomination window keeping her cards incredibly close. Like, nobody knows what she's gonna do. And then she comes up with her plan, and suddenly she's gonna start telling people exactly what she wants to do the entire round, and it's not the way to do it.
It's just not the way to do it. It is. It hurts because this is where her plan starts to unravel. Because at the time she told Tay, it was like, there's a possibility to get 6 votes here. Yeah. Now she tells Angelica, and we know Angelica to Dan, leaky ass faucet. So you know who the first call Angelica does as soon as she hops off with Anna? Dan Alt. Dan Alt Cool Dad obviously is getting all the tea on this call. Abso-fucking-lutely. And this is the beginning of, I mean, hey, I'm not mad at Jess going home this round. Trust and believe. I'm not that upset. Like, love her to death. It's just not in the cards for her this season unless she is able to like really flip the script here. So like, I'm not mad, but like as Stokes just said in his satellite video, like I'm loving the shakeup of the game. But to get us started on this topic of Angelica's tear through the house with this new intel. Oh, hold on, we're back to the satellite. Back to the satellite.
To comment on the whole like Dan and Angelica of it all, like saying that this is a bad move from Anna. No, the fuck it is not. She is on the bottom. You guys have iced her out and not included her in anything, and she knows it. The way she collected information yesterday, the way that she sat on call and asked people what they would do and let them just spill shit to her, and then she went and did what she wanted to do anyway. Like, this girl is smart, and y'all have underestimated her once again. And like, so then to be like, this is a bad move for her. I respect the move, but like, I don't love it because it's not a good game for me. Fuck off. No, this is a great move for Anna. She is going to blow the game wide open, and she is going to, like, she doesn't have to show her cards because she's kind of letting other people take the fall for it, which, God, she's so fucking good. How dare y'all underestimate her? Don't ever underestimate Anna. She is going to fuck your game up. She has nothing to lose by doing this. She literally has nothing to lose because she is already on the bottom. Like, hello? Stop icing her out.
Immediately they hop on call. not that. My bad. Misclick. Dan is informed that he's the back door, and immediately they're like, "This is a terrible move from Anna. Horrible move." And I don't like. I get it. Putting up the plan to have Dan up against Jess at the end of the round and expect to have the votes to send Dan home. Yeah, not great.
No.
Is there a path there? Absolutely.
There is.
You maybe should have picked someone else.
There are easier paths. There is no
easier paths. Yeah, you made it very difficult. But I agree with stuff like you can't blame someone for being on the bottom and taking a fucking shot.
No.
For taking a goddamn shot. It's really annoying to like hear it. Yeah, it just sucks to like hear. And the same thing happened in 13 to Anna.
Yeah,
people
no,
were like,
this
is a stupid move.
Yeah, I would admit wholeheartedly. Like, I was one of the people saying it was a dumb move on her part to do what she did in 13. Like, not understanding the whole context of it. And like in hindsight, absolutely, it was a fantastic move for her game. But
exactly,
when you're in a power position, the way that Dan and Angelica have been all season, you only see things from your perspective. And so they look at it as like, well, we included Anna in the things we wanted to include Anna in, and the very basic things so that she would feel included. And now how dare she try to leave us out of anything? It's very main character syndrome thinking to think that like this is our game and how dare Anna try to screw that up for us.
Exactly. And yeah, it's crazy to me. And what's even crazier is the fact that Angelica, despite having a very great relationship with Anna, I mean, is in an alliance with her, the let's get fucked up and die alliance. She's already leaked that, but now is going around leaking the entire plan. Like, Anna has only told 3 people this plan.
Yeah.
Angelica, Tay, and Ashton. That's it. And she's telling half the fucking... I mean, here we go. I mean, let's get into it. Let's get into her fucking tear through the house. She calls Dan, lets him know, and like is like, you can't tell anybody. Don't be fucking telling anybody. Then she calls Lee, and I'm like, girl, what?
Lee Farrell.
You're gonna tell a top secret info to Lee Farrell? Bitch,
Lee Farrell.
Are we in the Twilight Zone?
Lee Farrell's second cousin knows about this plan.
Oh, absolutely. I'm legit over here waiting for Ashton Kutcher to walk through the door and be like, bitch, you've been punked. Because I'm like, she called him Lee Farrell. Alrighty. Okay. Tells Lee Farrell that not only is Dan the backdoor plan, that Carly's behind the whole goddamn thing. Leave Carly alone challenge. Carly, yes. Did she push Dan Alt as a name? Absolutely. Did she also push Amanda and Jess? Absolutely. Carly is not like, it's Lee Farrell. Lee is behind this. Absolutely. Lee kicked this off, told Tommy and Carly she'd be receptive to it. Lee did all this. And of course, fucking Angelica's telling Lee that Carly's behind this. Lee's getting off scotch-free. I'm gobsmacked. I mean, great play on Lee. Great play on Lee to like get chaos started, and he's not. And shockingly, and that's what I'm so shocked by these last couple of days. That he's throwing votes.
Yeah,
shattering the ants from within, lying to people, pushing ants into the limelight, and he's not the one being blamed. I'm shocked.
No, he's finally figuring it out. Like it's taken like 40 days of BBH play.
He's figured it out. Organized chaos. He's figured it out.
How to be chaotic without being the cause of without being the visible cause of the chaos.
Which is crazy to me.
This is Lee Farrell at his best. No question. This is peak Lee Farrell in terms of what he's capable of doing. And I think on my last morning tea, I talked about how chaotic and poorly Lee was playing. He will watch this. He is doing a fantastic job right now of pushing his agenda without making it obvious that he's pushing his agenda. And it's what he should have been doing since day one.
Exactly. So I don't know how he's done it, because if I hear chaos and Lee Farrell's in the game, I'm like, it's this man. He's doing it. Come on now. This is his MO. It's also my MO. If I'm ever playing a game with you and chaos is starting, it's me. I'm letting you know, it's me. I'm doing it. So it's just crazy that now no one is suspecting this man, but I just think that's hysterical. But then Ange tells Lee, we're going to make this backdoor Anthony. We're not going to let it happen to Dan.
As if they can control Anna.
Which, as if they can control Anna, but also, like, the fact of the matter is like, if it becomes Anthony and then Anna tells Anthony that, hey, I'm going to nominate you, Homeboy's got the secret veto. This is, like, if Ange even gets slightly her way, and Lee also would prefer it to be Anthony over Dan, if this happens and Anna tells Anthony, the secret veto's coming out, and it might shift back to Dan. Like, they might do all of this work for it to be for nothing. Well, because,
the likely situation, the first veto is going to get used on Ashton. If Anthony finds out that the veto is going to get used on him, like, put him up, Jess is off the table too.
Yeah. it is a mess.com up in here as to because I don't know what's going to happen tonight, because Angelica's leaking this plan. If it gets back to Anna, that Anna trusted Angelica with this info and she leaked it to the house.
Yeah.
She's going to be pissed. Like, I don't know why Angelica, and Angelica's such a perpetuator of this. When something isn't going her way, she runs around spiraling. And hold on, I have it. Where is it? Where's the lovely graphic that Crystal just made? I think she posted it in the Discord. I could be wrong. And if she didn't, shame on her. No, she did post it in the Discord. I was going to say, send it to the prod chat. I'm like, if she did not post this in the Discord, I'm going to be livid.
Yeah.
All the time, something goes wrong, Angelica, despite being in one of the best positions in this house, goes around being like, I'm on the bottom. I'm on the bottom. I'm on the bottom. Oh my goodness, I'm on the bottom. People are playing me, and I'm on the bottom. And she's spiraling and saying shit she shouldn't be saying.
Yeah.
Because this is going to get her in trouble. Oh, wait, hold on. Back from the car.
And y'all remember from last season, I am Stangelica through and through. I think she is one of the best game players who has ever played this fucking game. But if I have to listen to her one more goddamn time tell somebody that she is on the bottom or that she is not, I get it. You have to lie. It is a game. I get it. But God bless, this girl spirals the minute that she does not get her way. And the minute that something does not go the way that she wants it to, she loses her goddamn mind. And being on call with Blake last night and being like, there's a group. Yeah, we know. And it's about to get leaked by Lee to Blake. And he's going to realize that you're full of shit. Just shut your mouth. Let the game happen and be quiet. Because now you've put yourself in a position, Angelica, where you are in danger, girl. You are in danger. Because you have to have this need to be like, I'm on the bottom. The game is not going right. Girl, you're running the game. Once again, you're running the game. Congratulations, you're a great fucking game player. But this was a mistake, Angelica, and I think you might have to pay the piper sooner rather than later.
Yeah, I don't know what her intentions are doing. Yeah, she's about to get caught in a shit ton of lies here.
Mm-hmm.
She's trying to get Anthony to be the back door, possibly, because she also changes her mind later on in the night. Which could work on Anna, because Anna has misplayed Anthony really badly. Yeah. Anthony, I'm hoping I'm using the right word here. I think he sextupled her, messaged her 6 times, unprovoked, and she did not respond. Anna ghosted this man last night.
Yeah.
And if I was Anthony, I would have expected to hear my name last night. I would have expected to be on the block. And, good on her, but that's the thing. And I think Ian did this improperly in his HOH, but, I'm not going to blame him. This is first HOH. When you don't nominate people, you need to reassure them they were never an option for you.
Yeah.
And she did not do that well with Anthony, because Anthony, he messaged his project 30 times last night being like, I think I'm going on the block. She's ghosting me. Why isn't she talking to me? What the fuck? She's not calling me. And she left that man on red as she's calling literally almost the entire length of the house and not even talking to him back. So her plan to get Anthony as the back door could work, but again, as we've said, he's got the secret veto, so who knows?
Yeah.
But Angelica's not done.
No, Angelica, it's Mitchell's right. She has to be in control of everything that happens in the entire game, and throughout a season and a half, she's basically been in control of the entire game outside of 2 nights of the entire time she's ever played BBH. Live night last season and yesterday. Those are the times she's ever not been in control of what happens on Big Brother Hometown.
Exactly. But now let's get into the call that, in my opinion, is going to shape a lot of this game. And it is the Angelica and Blake call. They get on call. Blake is pissed at Anna. As we've already discussed, he feels used because Anna, after she sent in the nominations, not nominating any of the 5 people he suggested, and then Blake gets pulled for the veto. She's like, hey, if you win, you need to use on Ashton. Doesn't tell him who the backdoor option is. She's just like, hey, I need you to use the veto on Ashton. He feels absolutely played and used here. Literally, Blake was her longest call. Anna was on the phone with Blake for 30 minutes.
Yeah.
And she didn't listen to anything he had to say. She never mentioned a backdoor plan. She's still not mentioning who it is, but is expecting him to use on Ashton. He's pissed. I mean, lucky for Blake and lucky for Ashton, he's not winning the power veto.
Yeah.
He's pissed. So he gets on call with Angelica. Angelica leaks the backdoor plan to Blake. And Blake said that, Blake was like, I would be down to get rid of Dan here. I would. But now he's like, honestly, just to spite her, I don't want to fucking do it. He's like, because the fact that she left me out of this, I think I'm just going to vote to keep Dan Alt cool dad just to spite her. And this is where the uphill battle becomes so steep because now Anna has misplayed certain people that now no longer want to help her in her initiative because she left them out.
Yeah.
Which, again, I don't think is a super bad misplay. Keep your backdoor plan and keep the cards close to your chest here, but she could have been a little bit more forthcoming with Blake about, hey, it might be Jess and Ashton. So, yeah. It's difficult.
Yeah, and, in a situation like this, you need all the people you can get on your side, right? You need to know for sure that you have numbers in place to do this before you put a plan like this in action. And for her to misplay people the way that she did, the chances of her potentially going home before the jury starts went up significantly by the way she's handling what she did the last couple of days.
Exactly. She could be the last pre-jury boot when we get back from Thanksgiving, but I don't know. As who said it? Jabbar, I think. And we'll get into it right here. There's a shot here. Yes, Anna's going to take this shot, and it's likely going to fail, and it's going to shake up the game. But what Anna has done is she has leaked a few little things here and there that are bringing other people into the limelight for being behind this move. And really, it's all Anna. This is Anna's fucking decision. But she's doing a great job of blaming other people and letting Angelica run with this info and letting Angelica blame Angelica with, bad reads from Angelica last night. Some very, very bad reads from Angelica last night. Yeah. Angelica took all those bad reads to Dan Alt. And guess what? If Dan or Angelica's the one who had a household, I don't think they're going after Anna.
Yeah.
They got bigger fish to fry.
It was when Anna had her chaotic HOH in 13, honestly, we ended up blaming Chris Stoner for what happened more than anything.
Yeah. And again, it might be a little bit of misogyny. It might be just people underestimating who she is. It might be a lot of these things. I don't really know. But ultimately, Anna's kind of getting away scotch-free for this move too, because on this call with Blake is like, hey, I would have been down for this, but you know who really is down for this? Lee Farrell. And now Angelica's being clued in. Oh, it's not only just Carly. Lee is behind this too. And now Angelica is like, you know what? Carly, Tommy, Amanda, Jess, and Anthony are a group. I don't know where the fuck she got this from. They're a group. They're running this. They're masterminding this backdoor. It's all Carly. Blake then leaks the Hamburger Fan Club, which is Danny, Lee, and Blake to Angelica. It's a mess. It is a mess of all fucking proportions here of who's being accused for who is masterminding this. But ultimately here, Anna's getting off scotch-free, which is fucking iconic. That now Angelica's pissed at Lee and Carly. She's still pissed at Amanda here. So then she gets on a call with Dan Alt, and now they come up with this new plan. They're like, hey, we might still have to push Anthony, to maybe that might happen because, she's not close with Anthony. But now they've come up with this plan to get the backdoor to be Carly. They've come out with this lie now that Carly wanted to nominate Tay and Anna at live night and that Dan talked Carly out of it. I don't think that's going to work, but you know what?
It's not.
When Angelica rides with you, my fucking God, she rides with you.
Oh, yeah.
And now she's trying to flip the tables on Carly because she thinks Carly is behind so much in this game when, if you look at my edit, Carly is middle of the road or under the radar much of this game because she is. Carly is not masterminding much of this game. She's chilling.
No.
And it's unfortunate that Carly is getting so much hate on it, and it sucks. I don't want her to go out pre-jury for something that's not her fault.
Yeah.
And speaking of Carly, coming from the satellite.
So I feel really bad for Carly here in this spot. She is kind of unfairly taking a lot of heat for this move to backdoor Dan. Amanda, not involved at all, also taking a lot of heat because of Angelica's really bad reads. And like, yes, they were like, Carly was ready to take the shot. Yes, she throws Daniel under the bus, but that's because Lee tells her to. Lee tells Tommy and Carly to do this, and so it's like, Angelica is on the fucking warpath. Honestly, girl, calm down. It is not that serious. Like, Anna's making a game move. You iced her out. Like I said earlier, you iced her out. Like. What you can't be surprised when Dan can't be surprised that Anna wants to nominate him when he hasn't talked to her. He hasn't included her in any game decision. That's the game. That's Big Brother, babes. Like, welcome to Big Brother. Like, calm down. Stop being so unhinged.
Unhinged is the word of the fucking season, let me tell you.
I'm worried about the sirens at the end of that clip where they
hopefully he wasn't pulled over for filming a confessional for me, filming his segment for me and driving. But yeah, I mean, and that kind of brings us to looking forward to today. You've got Ange, goes on to leak the plan to Hammond, and pseudo leak the plan to Anthony, kind of, cluing Anthony that there is a back door, and Anthony kind of puts two and two together. That's Dan all. Like, she doesn't say it. He calls Dan this morning as like, I think you might be trying to get backdoored here. Just heads up, Dan. So it brings us to where we're looking forward today. Tay absolutely beasted this veto. Only two people have competed. I don't see anyone beating her. I think Tay will get her first Big Brother Hometowns victory today in the veto. She's gonna veto Ashton.
Yeah.
Then it brings us to who the fuck is gonna go up in his place here. I don't know. Like, obviously, Angelica is gonna want to push Anthony and Carly. She already has Anna already has her plan to put up Dan. Lee is gonna leak the ants to Blake and Anthony after the veto. Lee also wants to target Anthony, Amanda, and Dan at the next HOH round because he thinks it's a double. Amanda and Anthony are currently plotting how to leak the ants today and who to frame it on. Like, it's going to be a fucking disaster of a day. It's going to be a disaster because the ants are going to get leaked. Angelica's lying about being on the bottom. That's going to come out. Angelica's already, spewing the whole backdoor plan to everybody. It's not going to be a secret anymore. I don't know what's going to happen today. There's a secret veto that might be played.
Yeah.
I have no fucking idea. And Tay, who was just, thrown up on the block as a fucking pawn to send out Ian at Live Night, she's still angry about that. She's going to win her first veto. She's never been in power before.
Yeah.
I don't know what's happening today. And I'm so excited.
Yeah, it's like, and like you said at the beginning, like, it's unfortunate that, like, after noon tomorrow, the game goes on pause, and it's like,
I don't know if I'm happy or if I'm upset. I don't know. Is that gonna fester for 2 days while they're off and come back? Because the HOH on Saturday is I wouldn't say it's a cutthroat type of game, but it's a game where people can really fuck other people over here.
Yeah.
And I don't know. Is it going to fester, or are they going to take Thanksgiving off and it's going to like simmer down and they'll come back more kumbaya? I don't know.
Well, I mean, I know that, the beginning of 13, we had a lot of breaks because of people quitting the game. And that really festered, and made people paranoid in our season in terms of like what was happening. And they got big movitis a lot of times and like wanted to play more because they weren't given the opportunity. And I'm wondering if that's going to be the same situation here, where it's like these emotions build up today and then everything goes on pause and it just continues building up.
Yeah. I'm excited to see what happens because, I mean, I imagine the veto's being used from Tay on Ashton. I don't know who's going up. Is the secret POV being used? If it is Dan and Jess, right now I would say Jess is going home, but do people, take the opportunity, because this is a shortened round. The eviction is tomorrow from 12 to 1 p.m. Eastern to give them off for Thanksgiving. Do they take the shot now? Do they take the opportunity? Because it's polar opposites on the block if it's Dan versus Jess. You got Jess, who's got nobody, and I
Yeah.
think is at the bottom of all of Prod's, power rankings. She is dead in the water right now, versus Dan, who is playing one of the better games, is very well insulated, a comp beast. Like, you could not have two more polar opposite people on the block.
And I'd also say, like, this is the way you get Dan Alt out of the game. Like, you can't waste too many opportunities where you have him up after a veto, because like we saw in 11, I mean, he won 6 straight vetoes, like, or 5 straight, whatever it was. Like, you let him stay in the game after jury, he can win. Like,
that's the thing, is like, are these people going to evict Jess over Dan Alt? Like, I can't imagine. I can't imagine I'd be saying that.
I mean, it's like Final 6 last season when Angelica and Lands are up together, and it's like,
and they voted Lands out. It's like, like it's mind-boggling. It's confusing. But that's the thing, is that Anna has created such an uphill battle for herself by pissing off Blake, who was a vote she absolutely needed. Because here's the thing: if Dan is on the block next to Jess, there's no way Dan is getting the majority of votes. The best Anna can get is 6. The best she can get is a tie, and she's pissing off the people that she needs to make that 6. I don't see a 6 as of right now, and it's going to take a lot of work from Tay and Anna and possibly Carly. If Lee wants to hop in on it, it's going to take some work to get 6 votes, but it's possible. But again, I don't even know if Dan's even going up anymore. If depending on what gets leaked and where and how and to who, I don't know where this vote is going, and that is insane to me. And I'm loving it every minute.
It's fantastic. Like, in terms of Team TV, like, it's amazing content, right? Like, you have
so good.
I mean, Dan has never been in a position where he has to fight this hard. Like,
he's never been a final nominee.
He's never been a final nominee.
The final 3 of 11 where he got yeeted. He's never been a final nominee.
He's never had to campaign like this. Like he might have to. And I'm fascinated to see what he can do, because we all know how good Dan is, like, at this game. We all know how good he is at exerting his influence over other people, but we've never seen him with the opportunity to do what he might have to do the next 24 hours. Yeah.
I'm so looking forward to what we have in store. We'll have veto results around, somewhere between the 4 to 6 range. I still need, I have Amanda going at 2. Blake and Tay have already gone. I need, who's left? I need Anna, Jess, and Ashton to schedule. So I don't know when they're doing it. So I don't have a time about when we'll have the veto done. Well, typically our veto ceremony between somewhere between 8 and 10 tonight. But, like, be with us from, I know y'all work, but, I'd say be with us from around 5 p.m. Eastern to about, 10 p.m. Eastern, because this game is about to ramp up during this 5 hours. I imagine there'll be lots of calls. I will be around to stream them, because this is an important day in this game. This is a round that will dictate a lot of this round with what gets leaked today. So be with us. But that's all the tea we have here. I mean, an hour and 14 minutes in here, but like,
it was
a
worth
lot of shit. A lot of shit happened last night.
Yesterday, you could argue that, like, post live night is when the game started here. Yeah, like, really
fair.
I mean, it was very docile for the first 2 weeks of the game, but post live night, people started thinking and wondering why the hell they weren't included in what happened on live night. And, this is when the game started, and I don't think it's going to slow down. Like, I don't think you can go back from this. Like, you can't make a move against Dan Alt and then go back to trying to make easy moves again. You just
it's done. Like, this is what me and Josh were talking about. We were like, this upward incline of this roller coaster, and it's just going straight up. And now we've hit the point where it's like, and we're dangling over the cliff, and we're about to just a downward roller coaster until we crown a winner on December 12th. Yeah. Like, that's what we're in for if we see a Dan Alt backdoor here, regardless if it's successful or not.
Yeah, if Dan Alt goes on the block, like, suddenly the big players are fair game, because really that's what it's been, right? Like,
and we needed one person to do it.
Nobody's wanted to make a move against anybody who did well, basically, or who is playing at all. And as soon as somebody does it, everyone's going to have free license to play. Yeah, and that's what they've all been waiting for, is like, we want a shot to be fired so that we have an excuse to play the game. And they're going to get that excuse today.
They are going to get it, and my lord, I'm so ready. But until tomorrow at 10:30, where God help me all, making the agenda for tomorrow. Until tomorrow at 10:30, when I have who knows what the hell is happening here on day 16 day 17 in the house. Yeah. I don't know what I'll have to say tomorrow, but there will be lots to spill. Until next time at 10:30, stay thirsty, my friends, for more tea, and I will catch you in the Discord. Me and Phil are signing off. Bye.